everyone. Sorry, I was just taking a few selfies.
Have any of you ever taken some silly selfies before?
If so, then you might be familiar with some of the filters that are out there to make you look interesting. I think selfies are a lot of fun and I take a bunch of them. But did you know that selfies have been around for a long time? All throughout history, artists have been making portraits of themselves, and that's called a self-portrait.
Which is a lot like a selfie if you think about it.
And just like how we might use different filters on our selfies, each artist has their own unique style that tells us something about them. Look at this self-portrait by Leonardo Da Vinci. Now, he looks like a pretty serious dude, doesn't he? Well, until you put a filter on him. Sorry, Leo. Vincent Van Gogh used all kinds of expressive brush strokes that tell us a lot about what he was thinking and feeling. Look at this self-portrait by Pablo Picasso. This is more than just a picture of his face. This is a mood. And I'm a big fan of Frida Kahlo. She did a lot of self-portraits, and she oftentimes included extra things in the background that told us more of the story. This is a self-portrait by one of my favorite artists, Artemisia Gentileschi. She was a painter back in the early 1600s and was one of the best known painters of her time. In her self-portrait, she's showing us that she means business and she's not gonna stop to pose. She has to keep painting. Look at this self-portrait by Egon Schiele. I love it. Now that is some serious attitude. Andy Warhol was a pop artist from the 70s. This is his self-portrait, and he's showing us that you can look awesome even when you're having a really crazy bad hair day. I thought it would be fun to show you guys how to do your own self-portraits today, and then put your very own favorite artist filter on it. When you look at a face, one of the first things that you notice is that it is symmetrical. Symmetrical means that you could draw a line down the middle and it's going to be the same on both sides, unless you make a weird face like this. I'm gonna show you a few tricks for how you can get started on your very own portrait. Okay, go get some paper, pencils, whatever you like to use to color with. It could be colored pencils, markers, crayons, and then also some tape if you have it. Ready? Let's go. No matter what it is you're drawing, you can always break it down into basic shapes. So when I'm drawing a face, I start by looking for the basic shape of the head, which is usually an oval. Next, I'm going to draw a line right down the middle. That's called the line of symmetry. Like I just showed you, everything is going to be the same on both sides of that line. Next, I'm going to come halfway between the top of the head and the chin and draw a guideline for where the eyes go. Now scoot down and draw another line that's halfway between the first line and the chin. That's going to be the guideline for the nose. Okay, and now one more time, go halfway between the nose line and the chin, and that is the guide for the mouth. Now when I draw eyes, I draw kind of simple football shapes first, and then you can always add more details later. Here's an easy way to draw a nose. Start with just a U shape, then add some little nostrils, and you're good to go. And then lastly, I'm gonna sketch in a quick mouth. Awesome, easy, right? But what if you're drawing somebody who does this on you? Uh-oh. No worries, let me show you. So if somebody's turning, that line of symmetry is going to shift whatever direction they're looking. So I'm going to have this person looking a little bit to the right and a little bit up. So if they're looking up, the guidelines that you draw for the eyes, nose, and mouth are going to curve up just a little bit. But you still draw everything in the same place. Now let's draw a face looking down and to the left. So the line of symmetry is going to curve to the left, and then all the other guidelines are going to curve down. That's how you make someone looking downward. Okay, are you ready to draw yourself now? Either get a mirror so you can look at yourself really good in the mirror, or take a selfie. Okay, I'm going to start with the oval. And since I'm looking just a little bit to the left in the photo, I'm going to draw the line of symmetry curved just a little bit to the left. Now I'm going to get my guidelines in for my eyes, nose, and mouth, and then start drawing them in. You can be as realistic or as exaggerated as you want. If you want to give yourself big cartoon eyes or a silly nose, that's okay. It's your art, you can do anything you want. Take your time and have fun with it. Gotta get all those little details, like my earring, my facial hair. Don't want to forget anything. Okay, there we have it. It's me! Now I'm going to show you an easy way that you can take one drawing and try putting a bunch of different artist filters on it. Are you ready? So take your drawing, flip it over, and with your pencil, I want you to shade in the entire back part. Every place where there's a line for the drawing needs to be covered on the back with the pencil. This is going to let us transfer the drawing over and over again so that you can make as many copies of it as you want. Okay, now we're gonna flip it back over, and I want you to put another clean piece of paper underneath and then tape it down so it won't move. Now with your pencil, trace over the lines, just the lines that you want to transfer. You don't need to trace over any of the guidelines since we don't need those anymore. You want to press hard enough because the pressure from your pencil is going to make the pencil lead on the back go through onto that new piece of paper. And then when you're all done, voila, look! Another drawing! You can do this over and over and over again so that you could try out all kinds of different looks with your self-portrait. Today, the famous artist filter that I want to try is Vincent Van Gogh. We looked at his self-portrait earlier. Here it is again. I want to imagine what would it look like if Vincent Van Gogh did a portrait of me. So he was famous for using all kinds of unusual colors and really expressive brush strokes. So I'm going to use oil pastels for mine and start with the background using lots of swirly marks and shapes. And then just like in his self-portrait, I'm going to bring some of those colors right into the face. It can be really cool to use colors that aren't just normal skin tones, but to bring in some really creative colors into your self-portrait. Maybe think about how the light is hitting you. If you look at your photo and you see that one side of your face is a bit brighter and the other side is darker, then try to bring that out in your drawing. That's going to make it look more three-dimensional, even if you're using unusual colors. There are no rules. You can do anything you want. The most important thing is to have fun and be creative. This is so much fun! Don't forget, when you finish a masterpiece, you have to sign it. Ta-da! There I am! Mr. Paul Van Gogh. Mr. Vincent Van Paul? I have to work on the name. And that's our lesson for today, guys. I hope you had a lot of fun, and I hope that you will keep practicing and drawing faces and putting your own artistic filters on them.
Thank you so much for watching.
See you next time. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope that you learned something new and had fun while you were at it. If you did, well, guess what? We have a whole bunch more waiting for you over at artmakesus.com in our Watch and Learn video series. Be sure to check out what's happening in AMU Live, all of our upcoming classes and workshops that you can participate in online. We also have one-on-one mentorship opportunities. Remember, everyone is an artist.